Humans are storytellers. We are characters in our own stories, and we have relationships, and we go through conflict and resolution. And so because of that, we really connect with the use of stories in communication. Stories can motivate our interest, and they can boost our memory. Research actually shows that the use of narratives in communication increases recall and understanding of complex information. When you start to pay attention, you notice narratives everywhere around you. And in fact, the media are a bit biased towards stories. You'll see many narratives used in news articles. So if you as a scientist have the goal of media coverage to try and get more news out about the research and science that you're doing, the use of narratives can help. Narratives have a bit of a negative connotation in science, and that's because they tend to be contrasted with this logical, data-oriented, objective science. In science, oftentimes, data is king. But in fact, narratives can be really complementary. Let's look at an example. This is an article from the High Country News, which is a nonprofit independent news organization that focuses on issues and stories in the Western United States. Now, as you can see from this title, How One Wyoming Mule Deer Won Friends and Influenced Science. This story really pulls on science, right? It's right there in the title, but also has that interpersonal connection. If you dive into the story, it's about this declining mule deer population in the state of Wyoming and how researchers were participating in tagging and monitoring of a pack of over 1,000 mule deer who were traveling over 150 miles every year during their migration. So that's the broad focus of the story, but if you dive in deeper, you notice that it focuses in on one mule deer named Joe, which is short for Journey. And Joe was collared in 2018, but by 2020 became a bit of a mule deer celebrity. She had all sorts of followers online who would tune in to track her migration process. And the article even has a map showing Joe's specific migration journey. Now, in 2022, Joe unfortunately died, and there was this outpouring of support on the internet. All these people who were commenting about how Joe had inspired them, and they were so sad that she had passed away. So Joe's story is really important when we think about her relationship with this research. She was able to pique people's interest, and so people connected to what is a little bit of abstract field research through Joe and her story. Narratives can be incredibly powerful in science communication, and they're not a solitary approach. Narratives are very helpful in tandem with statistics. One focuses on kind of interpersonal connection, while the other emphasizes evidence and competence. So when they're used together, they can really be a big win for science communication. Can you think of an example where an article uses narrative and data-related science in tandem? Leave a comment below.